Hi, I'm Aaron Kaufman, and today we're here at Camburg Racing Products. Going to see if we can learn a few things about a few things. Yeah, girl. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Aaron, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good to see you, man. What's going on?
This is my first time here, and so only thing I've ever seen is what I see on the internet, and most of Jerry's videos are of the Kinetik truck, but I know y'all do a whole bunch more. Can you show me around?
Absolutely, we do all kinds of things over here. We got manufacturing back here, we got A-arms, we got rear ends, all kinds of stuff. Let's take a look.
Well, yeah, show me what your favorite is. Let's start there.
I kind of like the rear ends. I think they're pretty.
I'm a fan. I'm a rear end man myself.
There's a whole rack of them right here. All fresh ones.
Tell me so there's a lot of people in the rear axle game. What got y'all here other than having to build them for your own trucks? Like, what is it that you're trying to provide that maybe someone else isn't?
I mean, that started with the race cars, really. Yep. That was our first one, and then we're like, you know what? There's a hole in the industry for a quality MIG-welded version of the race truck we're in.
Got it.
You know, so that's where we started. We took the same exact ideas, technology that we were running in the race car,
and then
brought it to the consumer.
Yeah, just shorten the manufacturing time so the price could be adjusted.
100%.
Yeah.
So currently, all of our rear ends are full floaters. We do 3 different sizes of those. We have talked about doing like a semi-floater and possibly getting into flange rear ends. I just didn't like the way a lot of the flange rear ends were. They butt the flange against the tube.
Yeah.
So,
where they're not slipped inside of it. There is no real strength on it. So even the bearing housing itself could fail off of it rather than having the snout shoved inside of it.
So we're working on an actual design like that where it'll slide in, and we're getting there.
Oh, like a unit bearing style?
Both. I want to do like a unit bearing style, so like a semi-floater, but also do a flange one at one point so we can have a larger variety of rear ends.
I'll tell you where the unit bearing, where I said, okay, this will work. Despite being on every Super Duty you see and all this stuff. And so I raced the SST trucks at the Costa Mesa race years ago, and after flying one 125 feet and landing on flat off of a a flyover jump, I thought there's nothing I'm going to do that's going to upset a unit bearing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what changed my mind about them. I thought, I was pretty skeptical at first, but then after you do that to one of them, it's like, I guess they're fine.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So kind of in the same thing, it's just way easier. You don't have to worry about crush sleeves. The cost is much lower, easier for people to service.
And the one thing I found, in a shop when you have guys, if you have one guy on the right side and one guy on the left, I'm gonna tell you, your preload's gonna be different.
100%. And a lot of the times, even with the consumer, it's like, how do you do Newton meters of torque? It's kind of hard to like convey that, and people don't understand it. It's a feel thing a lot of times. And then I found with the racing, depending on how the guy drives. If the guy's hard on the brakes, a lot more heat, things expand, so preload changes from vehicle to vehicle. So to the general consumer, so
try and bring that down where it takes less expertise and time to get it right.
100%.
Yeah. The other thing is, I see most of these are already tabbed for 4 links on it, and that's not, not everyone has that in their vehicle. There's a couple that are raw. Right. When y'all tab them, do they get tabbed for a triangulated 4-link, or is it possible for, I see a 4Runner here, for someone to say, hey, I just want to put one of your rear ends stock track width, but full float, and bolt into my truck. Do y'all do that, or is that the consumer gonna have to do?
We have like a rear end builder online, right? And we deal with our sales guys, so they tell us what they want. We'll do a blank rear end, no truss, nothing. People put them in Jeeps and do all kinds of weird things. But these are the ones that we offer. Most of our consumers are Southern California, 1450 kind of guys.
Agreed.
So most of them are going to be 4-linked and stuff, and we try to standardize it. But
and these are all 9s, or y'all do 9s and 10s?
Both. This housing will accept a 9-inch and a 10-inch.
Okay. It's opened up enough to take the 10. Cool.
100%.
Cool. Right on. Let's look at some of the other ones. And so these are all the raw units that will become rear axle housing.
So yeah, all the center sections up here, we build them first. We'll go ahead and weld them up. These are all chromoly 4-inch up here. And then we got 3.5-inch mild steel ones down here. So they get to
What's the price difference?
The price difference?
Yeah, between the chromoly and the mild steel.
You're asking the wrong guy about
that.
I just designed and build it.
I understand that. I've used that line so many times. Someone asks me something, I go, you have to talk to John.
Over there.
I just crawl around the floor.
100%, that's me. I'm the guy in the back. So we get them all built up like this. We'll pallet them up. We'll send them across the railroad tracks to the machine shop. Then they'll surface the mounting surface, right, and then drill and tap all the holes for the studs. And then they'll come back over.
Do y'all do that? Are yours tapped and then y'all put a bolt or stud in coming back out. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
all the chromoly stuff and the race stuff, we use a heat-treated chromoly stud.
Yep.
And the other ones, the less expensive stuff, we'll
Yeah,
just actually use a socket
Are they
cap from the back.
a pull through or are they a thread in?
The race stuff threads in with a jam nut.
Yep.
The less expensive stuff is just a socket cap with a
Got
lock
it.
washer that threads in from the back and just Loctites in. So keep it
That's close.
simple.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And all the trusses and stuff up here on top, but basically all the inventory for the housing kind of kept here.
Y'all typically, what's the turn time? Say I put in an order today. How fast would I get the
I
axle?
mean, you can get a whole axle like this in probably 3 days.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a really short lead time.
Yeah, they're quick.
Wow.
We go pretty quick.
Yeah. And these are the uprights over here are Toyotas?
Yeah, these are Toyota Tacoma uprights. These are
Tacomas, okay.
Yeah, they
Cool.
stock replacements. Fully fabricated, whole billet, lower section.
They're beautiful.
And we used to weld on the brackets and stuff. We finally got to the point where like there's some misalignment, things
Of
drawing
course,
and pulling. So
anything,
just keep it integrated.
especially like on the 4-piston with a fixed caliper, if it's not in line, you're going to have issues.
Yeah.
And it's just welding procedure. You start in the wrong spot, you could have a
I hate
pull
to say
on.
this, but sometimes you might have Monday spindles, you might have Friday spindles.
100%. 100%.
So-
And you can have, on these sides of the
everything in
vehicle.
between, right?
Hey,
So
I don't know. I've got a question, and you're the perfect guy to ask.
uh-oh.
No, I'm like 100% serious. So on this right here, so whenever we're running a uniball in a horizontal position on this, like y'all do here, let me ask you this. There is a hard shear line here where one part meets another part with a through bolt.
Right.
Okay? Have y'all recessed I made a longer misalignment, then made a recess and dropped it into it so that at the shear, it was an interference?
Like with a straight through bolt, I would definitely do that, but because of the taper, we use the taper to drop in there to lock it in place. It would definitely be better to do that, but once you start counterboring, then you have that depth to deal with, and you have the taper for its depth to deal with. So now I've got 2 mating surface to deal with. So with something like this on a production level, we're just going to keep with the flat surface, and we make it as large a diameter as we can to keep it as stable on top as possible. But then using the adapter of the taper to go to the straight through hole as the register. And
you have the taper, and then the uniball sits on top of it, so
like
it's a big stud.
Well, it's just the bottom half of the spacer, right? So that sits on here flat. Then you have the dome.
Got it.
And then the monoball sits on that. But that spacer actually goes down inside the hole to convert the taper to a through hole.
Got it.
So that's where it registers.
It's got the taper adjustment in it, and then you use the.
And then that taper kind of locks the spacer into the.
Does the same thing.
Similar.
I got you.
Similar.
Okay. Because like you see a lot of products out there, and it's just bolt the uniball on
right
top of it, and it's like I'm always looking at it like. That's just a clean shear
100%. But we did so they use that same type of application on an OEM spindle. So you have that same kind of register.
I've used similar setups for bump steer on the steering on it, where we have a specially made sleeve that goes in to convert that, which takes the load on it.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And so these are just like stage 1 tacked up, and then these appear finished and ready to go.
Welded, yeah. So.
Cool. Right on. And then what's the rest of the? I mean, these are all fixtures and jigs, but you have a lot. These control arms.
Yeah, these are all upper control arms. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, the stuff all gets CNC bent and laser cut.
Yep.
We used to notch them all by hand on belt sanders back here.
Spend
and make fixtures
all day.
Yeah, and it come that threshold of like the cost versus volume.
Yep.
So yeah, this might cost a little bit more, but we're getting way more volume out the door.
Yeah, buy the machine, cry once, and be done.
100%.
Yeah.
So. Makes things go a lot quicker, a lot more consistent.
Yeah, and so it's like, I saw a couple guys working over here, but how, do y'all turn multiple kits a day?
I mean, each bench will have something different going on, right? So yeah, you got upper arm guy here, spindle guy there, we got drop brackets for vans over here. So you're constantly...
Is your upright guy always an upright guy, or does he make control arms on Wednesday, uprights on Thursday?
Typically, we break that up different than that, because we'll have like the upper control arm guy, that's more of like an entry-level spot where he's really kind of learning the process.
Lay him in there, burn
100%. Then we get into like, spindles and then long travel lower control arms, that's a different guy.
Sure.
Right, so they kind of work their way up from, control arms and up through the chain until you get to the higher end product. Yeah. And ultimately, rear ends would be the highest.
So I also have another specific question on it. So one thing, I dabbled in taking, an idea and then making it a kit and then figuring how to produce that right. it's like, the guys when they come in, they're building control arms, they're building uprights, do you set the welding protocol? You put everything in, this tack, this tack, this tack, this tack, weld here, then here. Do you set that, or is it really up to the installer?
No, it's really like myself and my production manager. I've trained him over time.
Sure.
And when we look at a product, we definitely have a sequence in which things get done in a certain order. The way you
Every
want
time.
the welds, you want this weld, you want this one to go over that
To
one.
cap that
so there's a
one.
sequence of how it gets done. 100%.
Yeah, because that's one thing I found was I had to establish that, because even if everybody did a good job, but they did the job in a different order, it had a different result.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's John's, that's Bill's.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
100%.
Like, product continuity and fluidity through the whole product line has always been really important to me. How things look, how things go together, just the whole process.
And when you build that out, it's like the maintaining consistency at a high level, and it just comes along with the territory. It makes the customer that much happier.
100%.
So, and I'll tell you, in this arena, I've bought some big expensive parts, and I didn't think they were built very well, and I wouldn't buy anything else from them.
Yeah.
But if you buy one thing and it's great, that's your company. Those are your people.
100%. You don't want, and also someone refers a guy to your company, and he's stoked. Then his buddy gets it, and it's like different than his buddies, and you're like, what happened here?
That'd be a rub.
Yeah. 100%.
No, consistency, I think, is so important in so many things in life.
For sure.
Yeah, right on. Show me something else. What else you got going on?
Raptor bump stops.
Are these cantilever set up? Like they look like they were.
I wish it'd be
mounts.
way cooler.
Yeah. I got them. They hang off the frame, and these are the bumps for the Raptors.
100%. Yeah.
And this is a no through the bed setup, right?
Correct. This all goes under the bed. It does have some interesting features to it, though.
Show me.
So what we've done here is on this landing pad, we actually do this for the bed cage.
To go up over the top as a landing mat.
100%. So it helps us get the bed cage further outboard, closer to the wheel well, so it takes up less room in the bed with the cage.
So you can at least retain the 4-foot section in the middle.
Yeah, 100%. And same with the...
Which is great for putting 2 dirt bikes in.
That was the whole thing, right? Our bed cage, very simple. You can run the front wheel of your dirt bike up against the front bar of the cage and stuff. We actually try to keep part numbers down. So we did the Gen 1 and the the Gen 2 and the Gen 3 the same pattern. So we can use the same bed cage
the trucks.
between the Gen 2 and the Gen 3. And
how wonderful.
So you can convert the Gen 3 to coilover, or you can just put a bypass shock on it.
Hey, that is slick, man.
So
I'll tell you, one of my favorite things, so to me, hot rods, race cars, no matter what it is, how we break it down, it is simply who builds a better bracket, because all any car is a thing bolted to another thing, bolted to another thing. So it really comes down to how efficient can you make your brackets? Can you have a bracket do 3 jobs? Can you have a thing apart do multiple jobs? Because if you have a car and every job has to be taken by another part, they weigh 7, 8, 10,000 pounds. 100%. You know what I mean? The more efficient you can get the car, everything works better.
And it's kind of this. A lot of that, Craig and I've learned from the race cars. Because you're trying to worry about weight all the time.
All the time.
So you're trying to make one thing do multiple.
And balance
functions,
between the strength, serviceability, particularly 100%, where the clock is ticking. Right. It's like yes, we can fix that, but it takes us 3 hours to get to it. You're not going to finish this race. But so you try and make everything where you can maintenance it as quick as possible, as light as possible, as strong as possible, and then a lot of the engineering that comes out of the trophy truck, the 6100, all that stuff. It's so cool to see some of the ideas or the thought process make their way onto, regular pedestrian vehicles, just go down the road.
That's the way, it's always been here at Camburg, so racing drove everything.
Yeah.
So all that thought process always went into the product.
Yeah. I don't know how you would approach anything from there's plenty of genre where there's no racing considered, but ultimately it's like racing being, the height of automobile use, in my opinion, right? Ultimately, we're asking the most out of it. And so it seems odd to me that you would do anything in the automotive space and not consider the racing counterpart,
Makes sense, right?
To me, it does. Wow, pretty cool. Let me ask you another thing. Over the years, have y'all changed how you make your fixtures, or have y'all had a thought process and really maintained that?
No, early on, everything was handmade. Right?
Yes.
Once we started doing all the CAD stuff, we're doing all the product in CAD.
You start drawing the fixtures.
the fixtures in CAD. And the thing is, fixtures became like gold, right? We have this one. It's the source of everything. You don't lose it, don't break it, don't bend it, don't modify it. Well, when they're laser cut, you can reproduce it anytime.
Over and over.
It gets lost, bent, damaged, worn out.
And
just replace
particularly
it.
when they're tabbed now too, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, that was one of the biggest things for repeatability is when I started building stuff and started male-female tabbing stuff. It was like, some of the stuff doesn't need a fixture. It only goes together one way. You know, so that was a big change for me, is being able to utilize the computer.
Like that being said, like all of the products are tab and keys.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's the best way.
That it helps makes it a lot simpler, more consistent for sure.
Huh, how cool. Show me something else.
So, this is
this a 6100 or is it a 6100 name only?
This is the Spec truck, a 6100, 100%, yeah. So my kids raced this one, and this was actually built in like 2014, 15-ish. So it's an old truck.
But it's had updates along the way, I assume. And you're still running the 525 motor in it, but otherwise, let me ask you about this. So the 6100 started. My personal opinion is you can open the motor, do anything you want to it. They're going to hand you an ECM that has a factory cowl in it. If you've changed the camshaft, compression, altered the heads, it ain't gonna run, right? But what that allows you to do, you know, whether you're gonna run King or Cleveite bearings, put better pistons in it, better rods in it, it allows you to build a 525, whatever they really are, but a 525 that is it's stocked by the, you know, as far as what's performance, but you can have one that'll make the full pull. I've been into many of these that pop the engine from just trying to get it done, you know? We've had just a cute little window develop on the side of the engine because the rods are inferior, the bearings are inferior, and those are not performance items.
You know, the thing is, I feel like these trucks have gotten pushed way too far anyways.
They are! Look, yours has 40s on it, and there's got 2 more in the back that were supposed to be light.
You know, it's gotten out of control. This is gnarlier than a trophy truck was 10 years ago.
Yes, it is.
You know,
that is specifically like my thing with the 6100s. It's like, they're only not trophy trucks because they're underpowered.
Yeah, and they're still gonna finish like, you know, top 5.
Sure.
You know, it's crazy.
And if you have a super slick, smooth, thoughtful driver, you can put trophy trucks behind you.
You know, and we've been like, last year or so ago, the California 300, Kyle qualified first overall.
Is Kyle driving a 61 or an unlimited truck?
61.
A 61, okay.
Yeah, the truck he's racing is identical to this one. Like every aspect of that one is the same as this one.
Okay.
So.
Hey, one thing on Kyle's, and I don't know about yours, I really like the fuel cell package and like how the back of the truck comes together.
Right.
It's super clean.
I mean, you can kind of see that really good on this car over here.
Yeah, let's go take a look at it. What's your hours in this fuel cell? Like as far as like full trim out from shearing the pieces or getting them laser cut and then put them together and get it in the truck. And then the other thing is, are you bladdered out all of the weird extensions and everything?
Yeah, so this is fully bladdered.
Okay.
Right? Which is kind of a bummer thing for this. This is a very complex cell. So
it is.
Normally, a normal cell, you lose about 10% volume from the outside.
Yep.
This cell, we lose about 15% because of all these odd
Because of
shapes.
all the turns and everything.
Yeah, 100%. So like when we developed this car originally, which would have been in 2013, when we started developing a car, I've always been a believer in the mid cell.
I like it the most. It's like, you know, if you haven't been in one, this will be hard to understand, but if you've been in one, getting one to plane out when you're on throttle and sit there, you know, like a boat, it's like you go, all right, 2 spares, put 100 gallons in the back of it, and just get this ballast back there. But your polar moment, when you turn the car and you have 50 gallons you know, hit the back of it, it's like, I think putting the weight behind the axle is a crazy thing. To me, it only makes sense, like getting the vehicle to plane out. Past that, though, no vehicle dynamics.
Well, that's been the whole thing, right? And we've had arguments with other people over the years of why we're doing it.
I like this.
But our car balances out the same as a fully fueled rear cell car.
Yeah.
We scale the same.
Okay.
I just keep my rear weight.
That's right.
So
it doesn't move.
Right.
That's
so
right.
Kyle, when he got into, he wasn't sure at first because he came from rear cell. And he was extremely impressed with it. And as the car's developed, he's a true believer. He's gone back and forth.
It's the best way to do it. Like, I get the reasoning why the other way exists, but this is how race cars are built.
And that's
everything goes inside the axle.
And that's where we're kind of getting with all these off-road cars now, is they all go through the bumps fast. They all, you know, do that kind of stuff great. They don't steer, they don't stop, and it's hard to get them to accelerate. And that's what we've really been focused on. Our truck makes tremendous grip. We've got the balance down. We're really working good, you know, between Camburg and Magpul on the brake stuff now, and we're really getting big gains there. And then the shocks we're doing
let me ask you this. So it's like obviously there's the you know the compromise between sidewall and how big a rotor you can put in. And it's like the biggest I've ever been able to put inside a 17 is a 14-inch rotor, and on a 40, it ain't enough. I mean, it just ain't enough. I mean, in my opinion, it's like when you jam on them, like, yeah, you're stopping and it gets the job done, but it isn't like this. You know, you just don't have that bite. It is like, so if going to 20s, you're going to lose a sidewall, but you can run this 18-inch rotor on it, which the torque is enormous in comparison. Tell me where y'all stand on that.
I mean, right now, we're a 17-inch wheel is the most common,
yeah, of course.
You know, and the tires, so we're kind of in there, and we're at that 14-inch rotor. But the work we've done with pads and rotors on our calipers, we've made huge gains. And I mean, at ice cold, they work better than my daily driver car.
Yeah. Well, and you're able to maintain that all the way through the
yes,
oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
and we're getting huge mileage out of them. I mean, we're seeing like 2,500 miles out of a set of pads and rotors.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
And then everything's holding up killer, and they're ice cold, they're great. At 1,500 degrees, they're great.
Really? On the Camburg, y'all are having the pads cocktailed, or y'all are buying someone's pads?
We're buying pads, but I'm not going to talk about where and who.
I understand. I was just curious if y'all are responsible for that too.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Just finding the right stuff, sourcing the right things, and putting all the right components together.
Yeah, right on.
So.
Wow. And so, what number truck is this? I know there are early Kinetics and late Kinetics.
This is about 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the total run.
In the total run.
But y'all have
this chassis. This is about, I think, 8.
Okay. Cool.
So.
What's your favorite aspect of this chassis?
Honestly, the fuel, like having the midcell. And the other thing about our chassis, that if you look at a lot of other chassis, we have a lot of long straight tubes.
Yeah.
So we have 3 bins in this whole chassis, and if it's up to me, I would take 2 of them out.
I'll tell you, I was talking to your fabricator a minute ago, and I was like, oh, y'all still have a bender in the shop. I was like, that's unusual.
Yeah, I mean, as per the rules right now, like that was the thing, it had to be the A-pillar and the down kicker have to be one continuous tube, as per score rules.
Oh,
so,
is that? Oh, I didn't
which is really weird.
I thought I'd seen the geyser trucks being mitered at the joint.
You're not. You're not supposed to.
Okay. Well, I mean,
which is funny to me
because
even Ivan's truck, well, in his original trucks, was mitered right here, which is what I wanted to do, but the rules were not allowed.
I'll be honest. Like now, granted, I mean, I'm not an engineer. I'm an Imagineer. But the truth is, like, I don't see enough of a reduction in it. And not to mention, the tube is bent. It is compromised on the outside.
Right, stretched
already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like I don't understand what the deal with, because like if you trust the welder to weld all the other joints, that joint's going to be the same strength on it.
100%.
But they didn't call me when they wrote the rules, did they?
And honestly, like when Craig and we worked on this chassis, by doing all this, we've actually reduced the weight of this chassis and the number of tubes compared to a lot of other chassis.
Good.
Just by keeping long straight sections. So
I agree, and and the other thing is, if you race this vehicle long enough, you're gonna replace this tube if you race it long enough.
Yeah, we have kits for that.
No, do you?
Yeah, we actually made a fixture that locates off the mid-rail, so if you do have to, replace the roof.
So you can buy a tube and a fixture from y'all.
Yeah, and replace the car from the mid-rail up.
Yeah.
And then we have sections for the front. But people over time, and us included, have had issues.
Of course, it happens.
Smashed into a boulder, so we have a kit to fix the front.
They don't always stay rubber down.
No, they don't.
So.
And we thought about that a little bit back here too, like this whole back section's mitered.
Yep.
So like if this got damaged, you could clean it off here and replace it to a clean.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah. I want to take a look at your truck just one more time.
Sure.
Hey, I'll tell you this small feature, but coming from a small guy, I'm 5'10", 150 pounds. When I'm in the right seat and responsible for slinging 40s, having one this height is so much better. So you see a dual mount that are way up here. I'm trying
to get that thing up and down.
And then it's like if you have to leave one in the desert, I got to flip it over, write someone else's name on the inside.
Oh man, best in the desert, you'd be fine for that.
That's the reason I put your name in all of them.
Yeah, it's cool having it down like this. And we put little rollers in there so they slide right out.
I agree. Like, hey, so what do we call it? It's the comfort projects. It's the little things in the truck. Because like you can have a fully functional vehicle and it's like, it's great. It does everything it's supposed to do. But it's like, But like when you have one and you like finesse it and floss it.
The thing is, as a consumer, a user of it, I've raced them, Jerry's raced them, working with Kyle. Every time we do something, you go out and we had a flat, this was a problem, this was a problem.
Would be nice?
Make those tweaks.
Yeah. Because like you'll get in one and everything's right where you want it to be and it feels just like how you want it to be like, let's go to work,
And the thing is, everything that we do like that too, like this chassis has been updated since 2014. Everything that we do, like this whole back section, if you have an older car, we have that kit. Like they can go and retro
from
theirs.
the axle point back.
Yeah, like just this whole back section, right? Because originally this chassis, these tires stood vertically.
Yeah.
You know, so to get more weight back here and to get the car to work better, we ended up making some changes. And now that kit is available to an early consumer.
I'm a fan of doing them like this, and it's like while the stand-ups, if they're in the car, they're impossible. If they're all the way at the back, you can peel them out like that. I can appreciate that, but like I do like them laid down.
Yeah.
I do personally.
It definitely looks a lot better.
I agree. And you know what? And I'll tell you, right? It's like how you look won't find P1, right? It won't find the box.
Right.
But at the same time, though, if you stand on the box, it had better be sick looking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't hand out any fashion points, but you still want to be, you still want to be the best. So, what's your favorite part of your truck? What's the part you look at all the time? You're like, God, I'm so happy we did that.
Probably updating this,
the back of
honestly.
the car,
Just getting away from the vertical spares, going to this made the truck look so much better.
Yeah.
You know, but
modern.
for me, I like developing and building things. There's not a single thing about the car. I like every aspect of it. As dumb as it is right now with the kids, I'm putting a Starlink in it, you know, so I can do live feed with them.
That's
a
right.
big thing for me. Like with the racing, it's good to know what they're doing, but when we go out testing, my kids are 40 miles behind a mountain. I want to be able to see what they're doing too, you know. So just doing little things and geeking out on even the wiring or the mounts or. I just redid the air filter on this thing, and the way it's better than the house one I got. I learned on the house truck, and then when I did this one, I did it a little bit better. But you know, I was like making a little bit better. Just a quick change on pins and just little widgety things. You know,
No, it's the comfort things. When you put it in there and it just drops in, and you're like,
that was sick.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, literally, right? And even like stupidest thing, this jack thing, right? This was something we did for the new one. It's pins on the sides.
And slides.
The other ones that came in and they dropped in, they had a pin back there, was a pain. Now this thing slides in, boom, done.
And it's you know what's funny is like you're racing 1,000 miles, 400, 500 miles, you're eating up 3 and 4 foot whoops, you're going through all this stuff, and ultimately it will boil down to hundredths of a second.
100%, yeah.
Hundredths of a second.
And this is you asked, well, what do I like the best? I like geeking out on dumb little things like this.
So you know, with the hot rods and cars we built, I get asked often, you know, what was your favorite car? And it's like I struggle because like I enjoy many of them. I take home many of them, but ultimately it's like I like this bracket I made on that one. I like this thing that I did on that one. It's like all these little things because you'll think about it, you'll work on it, you'll build one, second one, you go on the car and you're like, that works better than I thought it was going to work.
That's literally that same philosophy, kind of the same idea for me.
Yeah. Man, how cool. And you've had this since 14 or so.
No, actually, I got this truck, I bought it back from a customer.
You know, built it for a customer and bought it back.
I did, yes.
Okay.
And then ever since then, I've been kind of updating it as we've gone along, you know?
How cool.
So, it's definitely fun.
Hey, let me tell you, as a navigator, this air filtered in the trans tunnel, let me tell you why that's really nice. Because whenever the air filter goes over your feet here and you manage to spend all night, all morning and not be that dirty, going through all stuff, and then you pop a motor and it sneezes backfire and you look like the abominable dust man, I like it in there better.
It actually works pretty good. It pulls air from under the dash. It's sealed off everywhere, and it actually works pretty gosh darn well.
And like say in the 1,000, right? It's like, how many times do y'all make filter changes every pit?
No.
Y'all try and run the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A big paper element like that, sealed inside the console, it's good. And I do a lot of data stuff. You know, watch the air intake temps and stuff like that.
And you can see the vacuum on the tube if you're watching it, so you'll know like at what percentage it's done. The one thing is like the open air paper ones, I've seen them packed.
Really?
You know, like where they're not encased. You know, they're
well,
in
that's
the cab.
more or less encased because like, this console's sealed up.
You have an air box that it lives in.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's wonderful. Yeah, what a great thing. You're running 488s and an underdrive on this?
I'm running a 429.
Okay.
With with an
top
underdrive.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I have a Mason underdrive on this thing, and with all their gear sets, I think it's like 12 different ratios I can get out of one ring and pinion.
Just changing the underdrive.
Yeah,
out.
it's like they have spur gears, so you can change them front to back.
Like a winner's.
Yeah, and flip them. So. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's cool for like qualifying and stuff, right? So
agreed.
I can go to different tracks and change them quickly.
I'll tell you, you know, I don't know how other drivers feel, but like as a car tech, right? It's like for me, I think qualifying is really one of the most interesting things to do, right? Because if you build an animal to go to war in the desert, qualifying is not where it's going to be any good at, right? It's not going to turn, quickly. It's not going to, especially when they do qualifying in small, compact areas versus stretch the legs on it. And so it's like squatting the truck, raising the spring rate, getting the weight out of their truck. It's like all these things to produce a faster lap time to undo so it can live in the desert, What a great truck, man. Yeah, and it's fun. Like, and y'all keep updating the bodies on them, or this is generally the body it's
funny. Like, this is the original body that we did. Okay. We're actually going to be hopefully working on a new body.
Your own?
Yeah, it'll be similar. We're going to keep it truck. Yep. We don't want to go like Raptor
like a Armada where they're kind of spaceshipy.
Yeah, not that crazy, but yeah. That idea, but then you can change the clip to be a Chevy or Ford or whatever. Kind of how this is, like we have a Toyota clip for this. We have a Raptor clip for it, but the doors and the hood and the roof stay the same.
Yeah, Score still requires the grill and the engine block manufacturer be aligned. Is that right?
I honestly don't know anymore. That used to be a thing, but I don't think it matters anymore. Cool. Until you like
whatever headlight stickers you put on it and go.
Yeah, right.
Got it. Right on. Well, so you've got another truck going together over here.
Oh, yeah. Number 11, I guess you'd say, or
no,
9
number
or 11.
11.
9 or 11.
You'll call this one Once, huh? Yeah. Is this the program that y'all have sorted out, or are there any new tricks to this one, or any changes to this truck?
So this truck is, this one, that one over there, the first, there were 3 of trucks being built with all the updates.
Okay.
So this one has a billet rack plate.
That's what I mean. These are Gen 2s.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. They're just different than the old
ones.
They
have all the updates combined into one thing with the new rear, the bulkhead, the new steering is all integrated. We did make some tubing changes because, like, I guess Score is kind of like wanting to change, safety things.
What are they trying to do? I'm unaware. So, tell me about it.
Yeah. So like, when we built the truck, the original tubing, it was this diagonal had to be 2-inch 120. Okay. Everything else was open. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to put a piece of 1 3/4 095 over there, and over here and over there.
Get this weight down.
And then the roof tubes up here were 095 1.5 inches. Yeah. So they've kind of changed their rules a little bit.
They want occupant compartment 2-inch 120.
Pretty much. But to a point, they're trying to make all of it like that. But I'm like, brother,
no,
you're telling me I'm a 6,000-pound spec truck. It has to be the same rules that 8,000-pound, all-wheel drive? But no dice, bro.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like running, a Dugan's big block on it is not going to move the same way,
So I did what was reasonable. I added the 2-inch on the diagonals, top to bottom. We upgraded the top to 1 3/4 120.
I'll be straight up. When it comes to intrusion bars, like the front ones, I don't mind them being small, but over the top, it's like there is so much potential to accelerate onto a roof hit. So I don't mind them there, and I don't mind them in the back. So like for me, it's like when it comes to the little people box, your major tubes in big on it. I thought that was reasonable,
so that's why we made those upgrades where, okay, this is reasonable.
And then y'all drop down to 1 3/4.
And we did it stage, like more or less 2-inch, 1 3/4, 1.5 inches.
And tapers out.
And same on the front.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's cool.
So try to think about all the details, what makes sense. It's still a race car, right? Even though it's a big beast.
It's like when you're in a vehicle like this, you are at war all day. Maybe today and some of tomorrow.
And we talk about it quite often, like Craig and I, like we can drop this down to 049 and we can do this and we can do that. But I look at it too from a consumer standpoint. I just spent $650,000 on this thing. I want this to be a non-consumable part, and I don't want to have to be adding gussets and patches and all the rest.
And the truth of the matter is that if the chassis got lighter and retained its original strength, that would be great. However, we both know that it may or may not make a season. Right. Like it's going to work hard and start breaking, and then you can't just go scabbing crap on it. It's done. Yeah. Like that chassis out the window.
And these chassis over the years, we've had very, very few issues. Yeah. To the point where it hasn't really needed a change. You know?
To the point.
And look at the one Kyle's racing is almost 10 years old. The one my kid's racing is almost 10 years old.
Yeah.
And they're winning races.
And it's a massive. I mean, like everything on these trucks is wicked expensive. However, it's like as long as you can retain the thing it all hangs on, it feels a little more comfortable.
That's how I feel about it.
I do too.
I mean, because like suspension are going to be consumable.
Yep, absolutely.
Gears and hubs, that's all consumable. But the main thing.
Yeah. I agree. I agree completely. Because it would just break my heart to build a great one and to know, at best case, you'll pull 2 seasons on it. And be like, oh, it's so defeating,
and most of the people racing this are contractors. They're just normal people, right? They're not huge manufacturers supporting it. So it's valuable.
Concrete guys, custom home guys, demolition guys. Yeah.
So.
Nah, that's That's wonderful. I'm so happy to see it in person, and this one looks like it's gonna come together pretty quickly. How long does it take y'all to get from this point to off the table and ready to start getting parts hung on?
So this will probably be ready to come off the table, I would almost say, by looking at it, close to the end of the week.
Right on.
So at that point, we'll get as much of the first pass,
Yep.
you know, the root, as we can on the table, and we'll pull it off. We'll probably spend...
Oh, y'all put it in a rotisserie to do your cap passes?
Right.
Okay.
So we'll get it off here, finish all the root on,
Yep.
you know, on the rotisserie or whatever, and then we'll go do, the cap.
Okay.
That is probably almost another, honestly,
it looked
another
like,
2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, for capping everything. Yes, because it's the sauce, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know. All right on, man.
Yeah.
But it looks like the main box for the occupants. Like this one's already capped, no?
Yeah. So the doors are built on a fixture on the table.
Separately.
Separate.
Oh, got it.
As a sub-assembly.
That makes sense. How much of this truck is sub-assembly before it gets to this, or is it just the people box?
Just really the doors and
Yep.
all of the sheet metal.
Got it.
The rest of it's done on the jig.
No, like I said, for me, when I look at a car, there's a lot of them that are shiny and a lot of them are pretty and stuff. But like, I you know, it's like with people, I want to know that they're beautiful inside. So, wow, how cool, man. I can't thank you enough for the tour today. I've been a fan since the 90s when y'all were building Rangers. And not like, I mean, stock upright, control arms, you know, the early kits.
Old school stuff.
Yes, 100%. And it was stuff I could relate to, and y'all have grown as I've grown. And one of the things I think is so cool is y'all make it look like it's possible, you know what I mean?
Right.
From humble beginnings to everything that you're doing now. And so I really appreciate you taking the time and showing me what y'all do here.
Thanks for coming by. It's great to see you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I got to get back to Colorado.
All right.